Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the CRC Alumni Professional Profile Series. I am here with Jacqui Wilneff Ponczek and can't wait to get started. But first, just want to talk about hoping everybody had a great summer. We had a small but mighty alumni camp this past summer. Lots of fun, lots of excitement for next summer. And for those of you who are going to participate in the 75th-ish reunion next summer, the dates are August 18 to 22. And if anybody's interested in jumping on to help us as we make it a fabulous event, let me know. We'd be glad to have you join us. Jacqui, it's all about you today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So tell us again what years you were at camp.
Sure. So I'm a 10-year camper. So I was there 99 to 2008. And I mean, I think I could have gone longer, but it was probably time to head off into my medical career and spend years more in school.
Oh, says the doctor and nobody else ever. Now, when you and I were talking before, I can't get over our connection that you have between my friends and your friends and moms and campers and brides and maid of honor. It's such a small world. Talk about that.
It's amazing. Just as we were kind of talking about the connections that we have and that as you said, that span across generations, and it's this amazing organization, sorority of women that are just so well connected, and the things I think we can help each other do, possibilities are endless, which is just so great.
It really is. And the feedback that we've been getting across generations, and not just from fellow campers, but from parents. My daughter's interested in going to medical school. My daughter's interested in going to law school. My daughter is interested in being a teacher. It's really interesting that we're getting the parents involved in the conversation, and we didn't think that was going to happen. So thank you to you and to all the other alumni that have been part of the Professional Profile Series. So, okay, you talked about going to medical school. Tell us about your journey. Tell us about what influenced you to go to medical school.
Sure. I don't know that I had one moment that kind of pushed me towards medicine. I just think that there was this kind of always wanting to help people in some way. And for me, science and biology and all that kind of stuff was just always interesting, something that I felt was good at as far as starting in elementary school and kind of moving on from there. So it seemed like a natural path for me to take. And I kind of spent so many years training, starts in high school, moves on through college. I did a master's degree in biomedical science after that, a lot of research, and then went to medical school for 4 years. And then you do 3 years of training for residency, at least for my path, and finally made it to the end a couple of years ago, which has been a really rewarding experience.
Oh, it's amazing. Congratulations in the field that you are specializing in.
Yeah, so I'm a pediatrician, and specifically I am a hospital medicine pediatrician. So I basically take care of only kids that are admitted to the inpatient units in the hospital. And so that's my specialty and my focus.
Well, I was going to say, tell us about a highlight of your career. What's something that you've done, realizing that you're relatively new in this fabulous career? Is there a highlight or something that you're just so incredibly proud of?
I think that the most rewarding thing about spending time with families inside of the hospital, compared to pediatricians out in the community who have this long-standing relationship with their patients, we don't get the opportunity to do that. But you do spend a week of service with these families, navigating what could easily be the scariest or the most challenging time for both parents and child. And so helping them kind of navigate through their emotions and take them from A to B, and hopefully moving forward by the end of your time with them, I think has just been really special for me to see, and to see parents and patients appreciate you, and really just help them through this really, really challenging time.
Will we see you as the camp doctor anytime soon?
I definitely hope to get there at some point for sure. I have a 2-year-old little girl, Charlotte, who is definitely born to be a future Chippy, and one on the way. So I don't know if we're going to be destined for Chippewa with that one or not. But I hope that I can definitely make it up there and be camp doctor at some point.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I know there are several Chippies who have either been doctors or PAs or parents who have been, as
Yeah.
you know, the camp doctor. I think that's just a great tradition to have. Was there anything at camp that helped you kind of decide you wanted to be in the field you're in, or was camp just for you an outlet to get away from science and studying?
I mean, I think for me, camp has really been the focus of several personal statements that I've written over the years, including, I think, my college entrance personal statement. And for me, it was a really life-changing experience for me. I think coming into it around 10, 11 years old, I was kind of back of the pack, wallflower, a little bit uncomfortable with who you are. And you recognize so quickly that Chippewa was this safe place where everybody could be goofy, and it just highlights the strengths that everybody has. And it really helped me kind of come into my own, create some of the strongest friendships I've ever had in my life, which have been just amazing for me. And so as far as kind of pushing me towards medicine, I don't know that I can say that specifically, but as far as growing as a person, there's no question that it really helped me become me, which is, I tell everybody to go to camp.
I agree. It's very hard living on the West Coast. A lot of folks out here don't understand summer camp. And
Yeah.
once you tell them all about it and your experience, and to this day, and I'm sure you find this as a doctor, I think there's something about working together as a team, that you're not doing this individually. And where did we learn the best part about group and teams and leadership? And you're not always going to win, and you're not always going to be the leader, was at camp. And I find that there's nothing more important than that team experience.
Absolutely.
Except for cabin cleanup, that wasn't always a great example, but we'll sort of let that one go. Is there a typical day, a routine that you have each day when you enter the hospital? Do you have a routine, or is it very different?
Gosh, I wish that I had something typical about my day. But that's the thing about medicine, I think in general, is that you have to be prepared for anything, and things just kind of shift around and you adapt to those certain situations. If we had to talk about a routine day, it's coming into the hospital, gathering information about the patients that came in overnight and patients that have been there for the last couple of days from your colleagues, and then reviewing kind of their chart, and then moving off to go and see each family and patient, and then kind of determine what your game plan is for the rest of the day. But like I said, things shift off of that nice little schedule that you have. But I think that that's just important to recognize, is that it isn't going to be, a typical 9-to-5 work day where you have, meeting after a meeting. You just kind of go with the flow and take it in stride.
And when you think about your colleagues, and you're going through medical school, your entrance into medical school, and going into and all of that, and your career now, do you find that you're one of only a few women in the room, so to speak, or are there many women that do what you do? Do you have a seat at the table when it comes to really being recognized?
Yeah, so I think that particularly, and I mean, I can speak for pediatrics specifically, it is a pretty female-dominated field. And medicine in general, I think, has taken a quite a big shift to women in medicine. And I think it'll continue to grow. And there are a lot of organizations that promote women in medicine and formal mentorship. And there are just so many opportunities to pursue, because everybody wants to help everyone. And our male colleagues are absolutely wonderful and leaders in their field as well. But it's just been so great to be a part of this, network also.
That's great. Talking to different alumni, and sometimes I hear they're one of only a few people in their group and what they do as one of the only women, whether it's technology or sometimes in different fields of medicine. So it's nice to hear that, and no surprise in pediatrics. I would think that. See, you're destined to be at camp as a camp doctor. Any advice you would give to any of our alumni listening about your trajectory of going through medical school, applying to medical school, undergrad studies, and then ultimately where you are now?
Yeah.
Any words of wisdom?
Do something different. So as far as undergraduate goes, I think that if you set your mind on medicine, you want to follow strictly the pre-med track and then do a major that kind of fits in with that, biology, chemistry, whatever. But I so regret not choosing something off the beaten path, art history, political science, business, anything else, because your whole life is going to be so centered around science, and it's your one opportunity to do something different. And I really wish that I had taken that opportunity to pursue something on top of that kind of science, heavy science training you're going to get, for the rest of your life.
I think that's great advice. Good consult.
Yeah, I'm like, should I take some tests, or, my husband is in finance. Should I, study for the Series 7 just because so I can learn something useful outside of medicine? But, and the other thing too, is just to, form as many connections as you can early and often at every step of your journey, from undergrad into medical school and then residency, fellowship, whatever that may be, because you never know where that can take you. And the people that can help to kind of support you and answer any questions that you have. So I'm happy to be one of those people for you at any step of your training path. But I have found that a really important lesson for me was just to, gather as many mentors as I could, because they offer so many different points of view and perspectives on things. And that's been really important for me.
Well, okay, you just answered my next question, and that is, if any alumni or any alumni parents want to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to do so?
Email is perfect. So I can give that to you at the end of our talk, or now, whatever works.
Yeah, do it now. The only folks that have access to this are our alumni community, our Chippewa community.
Yeah, sure. So JW Ponczek, PONCZEK @gmail.com.
That's wonderful. Any other words of wisdom to share? Anything else you'd like to say to our alumni?
I got nothing, but I hope to see as many of you as I can at the 75th-ish alumni camp, because I'm in for that. I've been waiting a long time.
Oh my gosh. So we've been preparing for this. This is our third summer now preparing, but according to Cliff and Lisa and Siri, it is a go. There are no questions. We had a successful alumni camp just last month. Everybody was vaccinated. We took all the tests and we had so much fun. And now it's all about recruitment. So the pressure's on.
It's going to be so exciting. I can't wait.
Well, keep us posted on baby.
Absolutely.
And we'll reach out to you again. Thank you so much for your time. It's been great meeting you. You and I don't know each other, but we have lots of connections, and I look forward to seeing you next August.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks, everybody.